Oh my goodness. This whole thing came off. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yep, that was me. I combed out one of my locks, and instead of having nice, healthy hair at the other side, I have just this little bit remaining for one, and on the other one, it's just this little bit of peach fuzz. So even though that was a couple of months ago, I'm still waiting for my hair to recover from being way too rough in trying to comb out my locks. Now, this is my second set of locks. I've been locked for 3.5 years. My first set of locks I kept in for about a year exactly. I combed those out successfully, wore my hair, my fro out for a little while, then went back to a TWA, and then eventually installed this set of locks. Now, the first set of locks, I used 2-strand twists and interlocked the roots in order to get them started. This set I have interlocked from the beginning, so my experiences were totally different. This time I learned a lot and have decided not to not to comb my locks out because of the trauma that I experienced, which you'll see in this video. So before I show you what I did to actually pull my hair out of my head, I'm going to tell you what I learned so you get the most important parts first. The most important part, one, be gentle. So I was way too rough with my lock. And so I was holding it and combing it, and I was pulling my hair at the same time that I was tugging at it with the lice tool that I was using. So I was really I was ripping my hair out as I was combing out the ends. So one, I was way too rough. So step one is to be gentle. Step two is to, and actually they're not steps, it's just tips. Um, Tip two is to make sure that your hair is very, very saturated and it's got conditioner or something with a lot of slip to try to make it easier for the knots to come loose. The second thing is to, or the third tip is to be patient. So I was going way too fast. I figured that since my first set were relatively easy to comb out, that this would be too, but I did not take into consideration that that first set, it was actually a 2-strand twist that I was combing out, and a 2-strand twist that had locked over a year. These have been interlocked from the very beginning. So this is 3.5 years of hair that's been interlocked. So it's much more difficult to comb that out. In addition to that, I have mostly done a 4-point rotation. So I've got really, really tight interlocked hair. So that also is a reason to be very, very patient. So I went way too fast. I was way too rough and I was impatient. I did use a lot of water and a lot of conditioner, but that was not that was not it was not enough. And the final tip is, if you have had your hair interlocked and you've done a 4-point rotation, and you've had them interlocked for years and you're interested in combing them out, I would consult help. At this point, I wouldn't try to do it myself anymore. Now, you may be wondering why I was interested in combing my locks out, and I talk about that a little bit later in the video. So for now, enjoy watching watching the process that I used, and the failure that I had. And I still have a nice head of pretty locks, and I'll lift my hair and turn around so you can see. I'm sure there are BDBs back there, and you may not be able to see clearly where the two locks were, but I'll turn around so you can see. This right here, and this. So I have tried to interlock this bit of hair again, and I have actually, but I forget that slippage is a thing. So I don't know if I'll just end up combining this with the lock next to it or what. for now. We'll see. But I exercise a lot and I sweat a lot in my head, so I end up washing my hair very frequently. So that's one of the reasons why that one keeps slipping. And then this other one is just there's not enough hair there for me to try to lock it yet. So when I re-tighten my hair, I just braid them and kind of leave them to hide under the rest of the locks. So anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have considered combing your locks out, or if you're new to the lock process, or if you have successfully combed them out and you have some other tips to share. Happy watching. Peace. I am about to begin combing out my locks. As much as I love them, I am 3.5 years in and I'm still really struggling in my temples, and it only seems like it's getting worse. This section right here, it's just short and broken and hasn't stayed locked. There's another one here that I think this is the one, yeah. So it's starting to thin right there. You can see where it's a little bit curly. That's because it's thin right there. And so it's in that same area. And I just feel like eventually there's going to be nothing here, and I don't want that. And over here in the same spot, it's similar. It's not as bad as that one. This one has, it broke already, or I cut it because it was thinning. But it feels kind of thin up here. It's just this same area that's thin and broken. And then I miss the flexibility of loose hair. So since I've had locks over these past 3.5 years, I've gotten tender-headed when I didn't used to be tender-headed. So some of the styles that people do with their locks, I can't do because it hurts. And I miss being able to wear braids and wigs. And I know some people can do that with their locks, but it just hasn't worked out for me. And in this season of my life, I want a different look. So even though I love my locks, they have done really well over the past 3.5 years, I'm just ready for something different. This is my second time being locked, and I really do love the lifestyle that locks afford me, the simplicity, being able to easily wash my hair and move on with my life and not have to figure out what to do with my hair. So I'm kind of not sure if I really want the smoke of loose hair, but I'm gonna give it a go and see how I get on. I did look at one lady, I'll tag her in somewhere, because she gave me the idea for a flea and tick comb. I got this one from CVS. I think she had one that had like a handle on it, a long handle, but this is the one I'm using. And I started trying to take out one already, and I wish I had done a video before I started. So this is one in the back. Now that back row of my hair, it took the longest to lock and had the most trouble with it. So it's been a challenge just trying to get this little one out, and it started out kind of full and it's just getting thinner and thinner. So we'll see. I might have to cut my hair if it looks too thin when I'm done with this. And this is the hair that has come out of that one lock. So, and I can't remember if I combined that, because I really had to do a lot of things with that back row just to get them to lock. So I don't even, it feels like it might have been one lock, but I don't really know. So anyway, I'm gonna do the one on the next row and see how I get on with that. All right, so I'm going to try my hand at taking out this lock right here. I've already sprayed it with water, but I'm gonna spray it with more because it's been a couple of minutes. And I have saturated it with conditioner, but I'm gonna put a little bit more. And use this lice tool that's from the other lock that I just did. It's been 5 minutes and this is where I am. This is a long, laborious process. I don't anticipate cutting my locks. I want to try to preserve as much length as I can. So, there's a little knot in here that I'm trying to work down. I just pull it out. Knot right there. That's the hair that was attached to it. That's that. You know, it's interesting because I can feel the loosening of the bunching as it draws up and it locks. Like I can feel this lock getting thinner as I'm pulling on it and pulling it down and combing it out. So I probably got about 2 inches of the lock out in 7 minutes. I did do a 4-point rotation, so I think that also plays a role. So I was thinking about the lady who I watched, and she said that she did a 2-point rotation with her locks, so that means they weren't locked as tightly. More often than not, I've done a 4-point rotation on mine, so I think that plays a part in the comb out process. That next section went a lot quicker. Ooh, I'm tired. It's been 20 minutes. I've only done one, and I'm not done yet. Oh my goodness. This whole thing came off. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh, that makes me so sad. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Look at all that hair. Nice, healthy looking hair that's no longer on my head. Oh, that's painful. Oh, I don't know if I was too rough or what, if I cut it. Maybe I cut it somehow. Oh gosh, it's so painful. Look at that. Oh. Okay, well, that was what I lost by doing that, so I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this in this way. Okay, well, that was 22 minutes and a big loss.